Ladies and gentlemen, in life, we cannot always control what happens to us, but we can decide how we react to it. The real difference between people who collapse under pressure and those who rise above it isn't intelligence or talent. It's mental discipline. It's the ability to stay steady when everything around you feels out of control. Your emotions are like the sea. Waves come and go, some are calm and light, while others are strong and wild. But when you train your mind, you become like the deep ocean below the surface, still, strong, and steady. One of the best skills you can build in life is staying calm during tough times. Emotional control isn't something people are simply born with. It's a skill, just like learning to ride a bike or play an instrument. It takes effort, time, and regular practice. Many assume that staying calm under stress is just a personality trait, that some people are naturally chill and others are not. But that's a myth. Calmness is something anyone can learn and develop. Think about the world's most successful, respected, and admired individuals. What do they all have in common? They don't break down when challenges appear. They don't let their feelings rule their decisions. They stay composed, think clearly, and make smart choices even in high-pressure moments. Not because they were born different, but because they trained their minds to stay balanced even when the world around them is uncertain. Emotions are powerful forces. They can lift you to do amazing things, or they can cause you to make some of your worst mistakes. How many times has someone lost their cool and said something they later regretted? How many friendships or relationships have fallen apart because someone couldn't control their emotions? How many chances were missed just because someone reacted too quickly instead of thinking it through? If you can't guide your emotions, they will end up guiding you. And when your emotions are in charge, they make you weak, easy to provoke, and simple to manipulate. Training your brain to stay calm in all types of situations is like exercising a muscle. At first it's hard, you'll want to snap, shout, or act out, but like building muscle at the gym, with practice, your emotional control will get stronger. Over time, you'll find that things which once made you angry don't affect you anymore. Situations that once made you nervous now feel manageable. You'll stop reacting and start responding with clarity and calmness. The first step to learning emotional control is awareness. Begin by noticing your feelings. See how your body reacts when someone speaks to you negatively. Watch how you feel when you're under stress. The goal isn't to push your feelings down, but to understand them better. Once you recognize your emotions, you create a gap between feeling and reacting. That gap is where your real strength lies. Most people react right away without thinking. But if you can pause, even for a few seconds, and recognize how you're feeling, you give yourself the chance to act wisely instead of emotionally. Another strong way to train your brain is learning not to respond to everything. Many people believe they need to answer every rude comment, every situation, every little annoyance. But the truth is, not everything deserves your time or energy. Some things just aren't worth the trouble. When you learn to be selective with your emotional energy, you start to keep your power instead of giving it away. You stop letting small issues ruin your whole day. You avoid turning tiny arguments into huge fights. Instead, you watch, think, and choose whether something is really worth your attention. Often the best choice is staying calm and walking away. Another important idea to understand is this. You can't control everything, but you can always control yourself. Life is full of surprises. People will push your limits, hard moments will come, but you always have control over how you handle it. Many people waste their lives trying to control what's outside of them. They stress over others' choices. They worry about things they cannot fix. They spend energy fearing what's to come. But those who focus on building a calm mind only care about what they can manage, themselves. When you control your thoughts, your emotions, and how you respond, you take back your power. You stop blaming outside forces for how you feel. You stop letting other people's words shape your mood. Instead of being pulled around by life, you become the one who chooses how you feel, how you act, and where you're going. That's real power. The path to emotional control takes time and dedication. Some days you'll do great. Other days you might slip into old habits. That's okay. What matters is that you keep practicing. Every time you stay calm instead of lashing out, you build mental strength. Every time you take a breath and think before you talk, you grow emotionally. Every time you ignore something that isn't worth your peace, you take control back. It's also key to remember that staying calm doesn't mean you're hiding your feelings or turning into a robot. It just means you learn how to manage those emotions, so they help you, not hurt you. Anger, sadness, frustration, those are normal, but they shouldn't run your life. A calm mind isn't an empty one. It's a mind that's trained, focused, and smart in how it reacts. Starting today, make a promise to yourself. Train your mind. Begin with small steps. The next time you feel irritated, pause. The next time someone tries to get under your skin, breathe. The next time life throws a challenge your way, take a step back and think before doing anything. These small steps will become habits, and those habits will shape the way you think and live. A person who controls their emotions controls their destiny. You already have the power to stay calm no matter what happens. You can build a deep inner strength that doesn't shake. It begins with one simple choice, a decision to guide your mind, manage your emotions, and pick peace over stress. Once you make that choice, your life will start to change in ways you never expected. The calmer you become, the stronger you feel. Whatever you give your attention to grows. Your mind builds your reality based on the thoughts you feed it. If you keep focusing on fear, worry, and stress, your mind will increase those feelings. You'll feel more anxious, more tired, and more out of control. But if you train your mind to look for peace, answers, and possibilities, your view of life will change. You'll see things more clearly and feel more in charge. The ability to stay calm in every situation begins with what you let yourself think about. Your mind is powerful, but only if you guide it. If left unchecked, it can become chaotic, reacting emotionally to every small thing instead of thinking logically. Many people live their whole lives not knowing how much influence they have over their own minds. They let outside things decide how they feel and act. If something bad happens, they fall apart. If someone insults them, they take it personally. If a problem shows up, they expect the worst. They live by reactions instead of decisions. But the truth is this: your emotions come from your thoughts, and your thoughts come from your focus. Train your mind to focus on what really matters, and you'll be able to stay calm no matter what's going on around you. One big reason people struggle to stay calm is that they keep thinking about the problem instead of looking for solutions. They replay mistakes in their minds again and again, which only makes them feel worse. But has worrying ever fixed a problem? Has stressing ever changed the outcome? No. Only action brings results. And to take action, your mind needs to be clear. You can't make good choices when your brain is full of fear. When you focus only on the issue, it grows. But when you focus on fixing it, you gain back your control. Training your brain to look for solutions takes practice. The next time something hard comes up, ask yourself, what can I do about this? What's in my control? What's the best way forward? These kinds of questions shift your thinking from stress to strategy. Instead of reacting from emotion, you respond with purpose. You start seeing problems as chances to grow rather than reasons to give up. Another part of mental strength is knowing not everything deserves a response. Too many people spend energy on things that won't matter later. They get upset over small comments. They keep thinking about things they can't change. They let tiny annoyances ruin their day. But a trained mind knows how to ignore the noise. It knows peace is more important than always being right. It knows some arguments don't need to be won. When you learn to control what gets your attention, you naturally protect your energy. You hold on to your calm. You stop chasing every small issue and start focusing on what really matters. And with that, your life becomes lighter, clearer, and stronger. There will always be times in life when you're tested. People might push your limits. Unexpected problems may appear. Things won't always turn out the way you planned, but your ability to stay calm during these times depends mostly on what you tell yourself. If you see every challenge as a disaster, you'll feel anxious and overwhelmed. But if you remind yourself that you've handled hard times before, that you're strong, and that this too will pass, you'll deal with everything with confidence and calm. Building this kind of mindset takes regular practice. The thoughts you have today shape how you react tomorrow. If you spend your time taking in negativity, gossip, and fear-driven news, your brain will naturally respond with worry and stress. But if you fill your mind with learning, good energy, and helpful ideas, your automatic response will be peace and clarity. You need to be careful about what you let into your mental space. Read things that help you grow. Listen to things that build your mind. Keep company with people who inspire you rather than bring you down. Your mind reflects what you feed it. Practices like meditation and reflection are powerful ways to train your thoughts. Taking just a few quiet minutes every day to focus on your breath can help you develop the habit of being present. When you learn how to manage your thoughts during quiet moments, you'll also be able to control them when life gets chaotic. Writing in a journal is another useful method. Putting your thoughts on paper helps you understand your emotions and see what really matters. Instead of acting without thinking, you learn to pause, reflect, and make wise choices. Letting go of things you can't control is also important if you want to stay mentally peaceful. A lot of people spend time worrying about things that are out of their hands. They stress over the past, fear the future, and get caught up in what others think. But the truth is, you can't control everything. You can't undo the past. You can't force others to behave the way you want. You can't predict exactly what will happen in the future. But you can control your attitude, your way of thinking, and how you respond to what happens. And you focus on what you can change and stop stressing about what you can't, you free yourself from a lot of unnecessary worry. The calmest people aren't those who live without problems. They are the ones who have learned to see life from a helpful point of view. They know that problems don't last forever. They understand that failure often leads to future success. They don't let their emotions take over because they realize that thinking clearly leads to better choices. This is the kind of self-control you need to aim for. When your thoughts are steady and calm, you get control over your life. You no longer let your emotions control every move. Instead, you think things through, make plans, and move forward with strength. This doesn't mean you won't feel emotions. You will still feel upset, hurt, or even angry at times. But the difference is, those feelings won't control your actions. You won't act on impulse. You won't make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. Instead, you'll recognize what you're feeling, give yourself time to think, and then choose how to respond in the best way. This is what sets successful people apart from those who constantly struggle. Those who struggle often let emotions lead them, while successful people train their minds to remain calm and think clearly no matter what. So from today onward, make a promise to yourself to train your mind. Be careful about what you pay attention to. Try to focus on solutions, not just problems. Don't let small issues steal your peace. Let go of things that aren't in your control. Build a mindset that stays steady even when life gets tough. Because the person who learns to manage their mind is the one who shapes their future. Emotional intelligence is one of the most powerful life skills you can build. It means knowing how to understand and manage your emotions, while also being aware of the emotions of those around you. Many people react without thinking. They let emotions run the show. They get mad when things go wrong. They get annoyed when faced with setbacks. They get discouraged when things don't move fast enough. But people who have emotional intelligence stay calm no matter what. They know emotions don't last forever, and that acting on them without thinking can lead to regret. They don't let outside events control their reactions. They decide how to respond, even in hard times. The key to emotional intelligence is being aware of your emotions. You need to notice how you feel without letting those feelings control your behavior. When something bothers you, pause and ask yourself, why do I feel like this? What caused this emotion? Is how I'm reacting going to help or hurt the situation? By asking these questions, you get control over how you respond. Instead of turning frustration into anger or fear into panic, you learn how to calmly work through your feelings and make smart choices. This ability is what separates people who struggle from those who succeed. People who struggle follow their emotions wherever they go. People who succeed guide their emotions in the direction they want to go. Another major life challenge is dealing with difficult people. There will always be people who push your buttons, say hurtful things, or try to bring you down. But emotional intelligence helps you stay strong. You learn to rise above the negativity. You understand that how someone treats you is more about them than about you. If someone is rude, it says something about them, not you. If someone judges you unfairly, that's their point of view, not your value. Once you develop emotional intelligence, you stop taking things so personally. You will learn to act with wisdom rather than react emotionally. Emotional intelligence also helps you face challenges with a clear head. Life will throw difficulties your way, failures, setbacks, and unexpected events. But how you respond to those difficulties decides your success. Many people let hard times break them down. They get stuck in fear. They feel defeated. But people with emotional intelligence stay calm. They look for what can be done. They keep their emotions in check and try to understand the situation before they know that problems are a part of life. But how you face them is what really matters. Building emotional intelligence takes discipline. You have to train yourself to pause before reacting. When something tough happens, don't react right away. Take a breath, give yourself space to think. Ask yourself, what's the best way to respond? What result am I hoping for? What action helps me most in the long run? Doing this regularly will train your mind to stay calm, even when things get intense. It will feel natural. You won't let small problems ruin your peace. You won't let emotions take over your decisions. You'll be able to face anything with calm and confidence. Another important part of emotional intelligence is letting go of things you can't change. So many people waste energy, worry about things outside their control. They can't stop thinking about the past. They're scared about the future. They wonder constantly about what others think of them. But none of that helps. Worrying about the past won't change it. Fearing the future won't stop things from happening. Obsessing over people's opinions won't bring peace. The only thing that really makes a difference is focusing on what's in your control, your thoughts, your choices, your attitude. When you stop trying to control everything else and start managing yourself, you finally feel free. Self-restraint is also part of emotional intelligence. Your ability to stay calm depends on how well you handle your impulses. When someone says something that bothers you, do you snap back or take a second to think? When life gets stressful, do you panic or do you breathe and focus on what you can do? Self-control is what keeps you steady in a world full of chaos. It helps you hold on to your peace even when things around you feel out of control. The way you talk to yourself also plays a big role in how emotionally strong you are. Your inner voice shapes how you feel and how you act. If you're always telling yourself that life is too hard, that you can't handle pressure, or that everything is unfair, your brain starts to believe it. But if you choose to speak to yourself with strength, your reactions change. When you're facing something hard, don't say, "This is too much." Say, "I'll find a way through." Don't say, "I can't do this." Say, "I've done hard things before, and I can do this too." The words you tell yourself affect your emotions, and those emotions guide your behavior. So speak to yourself with belief, courage, and patience. Managing stress is a major part of emotional intelligence. Stress is part of life. It's going to show up. But how you deal with it makes all the difference. Some people let stress take over. They think about all the bad things that could happen. They let their thoughts spiral into fear. They feel overwhelmed. But emotional intelligence helps you deal with stress in a smarter way. You stop letting your mind run wild with worst-case ideas. You slow down. You focus on what you can do next. You break big problems into smaller steps. And you remind yourself that you're stronger than you think. Train your mind every day. Choose your thoughts carefully. Focus on what helps you grow. Because the one who learns to stay calm and steady, even in the storm, is the one who moves forward no matter what life throws at them. Leadership doesn't last forever, and you have the ability to control how you respond to it. Emotional intelligence gives you the strength to handle it better. It also helps improve your relationships. When you understand your own feelings, you naturally become more caring towards others. You begin to see that everyone is going through their own problems, fears, and difficulties. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness when someone is upset, you learn to be calm, to listen, and to try to understand them. You learn how to deal with disagreements wisely and calmly, without letting them turn into big fights. Emotional intelligence helps you connect more deeply with people and form more meaningful and lasting relationships. At the heart of emotional intelligence is the idea that you are in charge of how you feel. Nobody can decide your emotions for you unless you let them. No event can break your spirit unless you allow it. When you become skilled in emotional intelligence, you take full responsibility for how you react. You stop pointing fingers at your situation or blaming other people. Instead, you begin focusing on how you can act in the best way possible. You become steady and grounded. No matter what's happening, you stay balanced and composed. This attitude leads to success, peace, and real strength. Calm mind helps you think clearly and make smart choices. Many people let their feelings control how they act. They react quickly without thinking. But training your mind to stay calm doesn't mean hiding your emotions. It means knowing what you feel and choosing your actions carefully. When you stay calm, you take control of your life instead of letting outside events control you. A peaceful mind helps you handle tough times with clear thinking, make smart decisions, and keep your inner peace even when things around you are chaotic. One of the best ways to train your mind to stay calm is learning to pause before reacting. Most people react without thinking about what will happen next. They let anger or fear take over, which usually leads to actions they later regret. But when you learn to pause, you give yourself a chance to pick a better response. Instead of letting your feelings take control, you take a deep breath, look at the situation, and decide what to do next. This small habit can completely change the way you deal with life's problems and conflicts. Another helpful method for keeping calm is shifting your focus from what you cannot change to what you can. Many people use up their energy worrying about things they cannot fix, like someone else's opinion, a mistake from the past, or something unexpected that might happen. This causes a lot of stress because it makes them feel helpless. But when you focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your behavior, your actions, you take your power back. You begin to see that even though you can't control everything, you can always choose how to deal with it. This way of thinking creates a steady inner strength that doesn't fall apart when life gets hard. Learning patience is also a big part of keeping your mind calm. In today's fast-moving world, people want things to happen right away. They want quick answers, fast progress, and instant results. When things don't happen fast, they feel stressed and annoyed. But real calmness comes from knowing that good things take time, whether it's growth, healing, success, or relationships. Everything follows its own schedule. When you are patient, you stop rushing yourself because of outside pressure. You start trusting that things will happen when they're supposed to. This patience lets you stay calm, even when the future is unclear, because you know you don't have to force anything before it's ready. Another important part of staying calm is managing the way you talk to yourself. Your thoughts shape your feelings and your actions. If you're always thinking negatively, like worrying, doubting yourself, or fearing failure, it's hard to keep your peace. But if you train yourself to think more positively and constructively, your inner world becomes more peaceful. For example, instead of saying, "This is too hard," say, "I will find a way through this." Instead of thinking, "I can't handle this," remind yourself, "I've been through hard times before and I can do it again." Your thoughts shape how you feel, so if you want a peaceful mind, you need to think in ways that support that peace. Breathing exercises and mindfulness are also great tools to create a calm mind. When you focus on your breath, you bring your awareness to the current moment. This stops your mind from worrying about the past or stressing over the future. Taking deep breaths activates a part of your body that helps you feel calm. It lowers your stress and helps you stay focused. Mindfulness, paying full attention to whatever you're doing, trains your brain to stay centered. It keeps your mind from wandering or getting filled with useless worries. The more you practice mindfulness and breathing, the easier it becomes to stay calm no matter what is happening. Another helpful habit for staying calm is learning to emotionally distance yourself from outside noise. Many people allow the news, social media, or other people's problems to fill their minds with stress. They take in all this negativity, and it makes them feel upset. But when you learn to step back and not let everything affect you, you free yourself from that constant tension. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you choose wisely what you give your attention to. You protect your peace by setting clear boundaries and only focusing on what really matters. Self-discipline is another major piece of having a calm mind. People who don't have self-control often feel like life is messy and chaotic. They let their feelings lead their decisions, which creates confusion. But when you build self-discipline, you learn to act with purpose. You learn to wait for the right time, to say no when needed, and to make decisions that help you in the long run, not just ones that feel good in the moment. This kind of discipline makes you stronger on the inside and helps you stay calm no matter what's going on. It's also important to understand that life comes with challenges. Many people get upset when things don't go as planned because they expect everything to be smooth. But life is full of ups and downs. What matters is how you look at the hard times. Don't see them as roadblocks, see them as chances to grow. Don't fight against problems. Instead, face them and use them to get better. When you change how you see challenges, they don't shake your peace anymore. You stay calm, knowing each problem is helping you become wiser and stronger. Gratitude is another powerful way to keep a calm mind. When you focus on what's good in your life instead of what's missing, your heart feels lighter. Many people feel stressed because they are always chasing more success, more money, more recognition. While goals are good, always feeling like you don't have enough makes you feel unhappy. But when you stop and truly appreciate what you already have, you feel a deep sense of peace. And gratitude helps you shift your thoughts from what's lacking to what's present, giving you a calm that isn't based on outside things. One of the deepest keys to staying calm is trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the timing of life, trust that things are unfolding the way they should. Many people feel stressed because they want to control everything. They worry about what's next, doubt their own strength, and fear the unknown. But when you build trust in your ability to cope and in life's process, you let go of extra worry. You stop thinking too much, stop doubting everything, and begin to move with the flow of life. Training your mind to be calm doesn't happen in a day, but with regular effort, it becomes second nature. You learn how to stay steady during tough times. You respond with wisdom instead of reacting with emotion. You face life with courage and clarity. A calm mind is one of the greatest strengths you can build. It lets you move through life with peace, insight, and inner strength. No matter what goes on around you, your inner world stays steady. And that is true power. As you continue learning to keep your mind calm in all situations, one of the most powerful habits you can build is emotional detachment. Many people live their lives ruled by their feelings. They react quickly and emotionally instead of calmly and wisely. When you practice emotional detachment, you don't become uncaring. You become clear-minded. You watch what's going on without letting it take over your emotions. This ability is essential for keeping peace inside you. It helps you face problems without drowning in them. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you handle what you feel with balance. When you train yourself to stay emotionally distant, you begin to realize that not every situation demands a reaction. You build the ability to pause, observe what's happening, and choose whether it even needs your attention. This small change in thinking can protect you from a lot of needless pain and help you stay calm even during very tough moments. One of the main advantages of emotional distance is that it helps you move away from depending on others for approval. Many people feel uneasy and nervous because they are always trying to please others. They worry about others' opinions, they crave compliments, and they fear being judged. This dependence on what others think makes their emotions unstable because they allow other people's views to control how they feel. But when you emotionally step back, you understand that your value does not come from other people's opinions. You no longer depend on compliments to feel good or fear disapproval. You become secure in your own self-worth, which helps you stay steady and confident, no matter how others behave or react. Another important part of emotional separation is giving up the need to control everything. Many people feel stressed because they want to manage every detail: their surroundings, other people's actions, and how situations turn out. They struggle with not knowing what's ahead because they think they must always be in charge of how things go. But life doesn't work that way. No matter how carefully you plan, there will always be things you can't control. When you practice emotional detachment, you accept this fact. You stop pushing against reality and instead begin to move with it. Instead of forcing events to turn out a certain way, you trust that whatever happens is part of a bigger picture. This belief helps you stay peaceful, even in unsure times, because you've let go of the need to manage everything. Releasing attachment to the past is also a big part of emotional freedom. Many people hold on to emotional pain from earlier experiences. They let old hurts, regrets, and bad memories affect how they feel today. They replay bad situations in their minds, wishing things had gone differently, or they hold on to anger towards people who wronged them. This connection to the past creates pain that isn't needed and blocks them from feeling peace now. But when you train your mind to let go of the past, you remove its emotional hold on you. You realize the past can be changed, and the only thing you have power over is how you choose to move forward. You stop going over your past mistakes, stop holding on to blame, and stop letting past pain shape your present. This freedom of mind lets you stay focused on what lies ahead and keeps you more at ease. A very helpful part of emotional balance is learning how to set personal limits. A lot of people deal with stress because they allow others to use up their time, their energy, and their emotions. They agree to things they don't want, put up with harmful behavior, and feel like they must keep everyone happy. But when you train yourself to become emotionally balanced, you understand that it's not your job to please everyone. You learn how to set clear limits, guard your energy, and say no when you need to. You stop feeling bad for putting your own well-being first, and understand that setting limits is a form of self-respect. When you give yourself that space, you feel more relaxed and less pressured by the outside world. Being mindful is another strong method for gaining emotional space. Many people are constantly overwhelmed with mental noise. Their minds are crowded with endless thoughts, stress, and distractions. They overthink, imagine the worst outcomes, and let their thoughts control how they feel. But mindfulness helps you pay attention to what's happening now. When you practice mindfulness, you become someone who notices your thoughts without getting trapped by them. You catch yourself when your mind is creating stress and gently bring yourself back to the present moment. This easy but powerful habit helps you step away from the mental noise that usually leads to emotional chaos, and it allows you to stay balanced, focused, and calm. Another benefit of staying emotionally steady is how much easier it makes your relationships. Many arguments happen because people take things too personally, react without thinking, or get too caught up in how others behave. When you learn emotional detachment, you stop needing people to act a certain way in order for you to feel good. You begin to accept people as they are, without trying to fix them or control their actions. You understand that each person has their own path, and their choices reflect their own journey, not your worth. This insight helps you deal with others more patiently, with fewer emotional reactions, and with a deeper sense of peace. Staying emotionally distant also helps you make smarter choices. When you're too attached to a certain result, you may act too quickly out of fear, stress, or neediness. But when you're detached, your decisions come from a calm and clear place. You take time to look at your choices, think about what will matter in the long run, and go with what truly serves you, not just what feels good in the moment. This thoughtful way of choosing builds your trust in yourself and helps you walk through life with better judgment and more strength. At its heart, emotional detachment means putting a space between your feelings and how you respond. It means knowing that you are not your emotions. You are someone who can observe them. You can feel hurt without letting it take over, face struggles without losing control, and talk with others without taking everything so personally. This way of thinking gives you the power to stay calm no matter what's going on around you. Learning to stay emotionally distant is not about being cold or uncaring. It's about understanding how to handle your feelings and respond wisely to different situations. It's about picking peace over drama, understanding over confusion, and thoughtfulness over quick reactions. When you learn this skill, you go through life with more freedom, inner strength, and balance. You realize that true strength doesn't come from reacting to every little thing, but from knowing when to step back and let things be. While training your mind to stay calm in all situations, one of the most valuable traits you can build is patience. Patience isn't just about waiting for something to happen. It's about staying steady, focused, and calm while facing delays, difficulties, or setbacks. It shows your mental strength and self-control and is key to succeeding in any area of life. Many people find it hard to be patient because we live in a world that pushes for fast results. People want things quickly, whether it's success, solutions, or rewards. But real improvement, whether in your own growth, your relationships, or your goals, takes time, work, and commitment. Being able to stay calm and patient during hard times separates those who get stuck in frustration from those who handle life with maturity and grace. Patience means more than just passing time. It's about how you wait. Some people wait with stress, anger, and a sense of being stuck, while others wait with calm, trust, and inner strength. When you grow in patience, you start to accept that life won't always go your way. You realize that some things are out of your hands, and instead of fighting that fact, you make peace with it. This acceptance lets you remain calm, even when plans fall through. You stop wasting time stressing over what you can't change and focus instead on what's in your power, your thoughts, your actions, and your approach. One of the hardest times to stay patient is when you're facing problems. When something doesn't go right, many people lose heart, feel annoyed, or even give up. They see these blocks as failure rather than as chances to become stronger. But when you teach your mind to be patient, you build endurance. You learn that every delay carries a lesson, every struggle brings a chance to grow, and every tough time tests how strong and steady you are. You don't let short-term problems shake your peace. You use them as chances to grow wiser, more focused, and more driven. Another part of life where patience makes a big difference is in your relationships. A lot of arguments happen because people don't take the time to understand each other. They speak before listening, judge before thinking, and expect everything to be fixed right away. In today's fast world, people want quick emotional connections and fast fixes. But strong, healthy relationships take effort, time, and patience. When you become more patient, you learn how to truly listen, to understand before reacting, and to give others space to be themselves. You stop jumping to conclusions and instead respond with care and thought. You stop letting your emotions control every response and instead act with calm and kindness. This ability to stay calm and patient in relationships helps create stronger bonds, clearer communication, and deeper respect between people. Being patient is also very important when working toward personal goals. Many individuals stop chasing their dreams because they don't notice quick results. They may begin a new habit, start a business, or try to learn a skill, but when results don't come right away, they feel discouraged. However, real success isn't about how fast you go, it's about being consistent. The most accomplished people in any area know that great results take time. They don't hurry the process or expect things to happen instantly. Instead, they rely on their effort, stay patient, and continue working even if progress isn't obvious at first. They know that each small action they take is helping build something bigger. One of the biggest advantages of becoming more patient is that it lowers stress and worry. When people are impatient, they often feel frustrated, angry, and stressed for no reason. Constantly rushing, feeling uneasy, or expecting quick results puts the mind under pressure. This kind of stress affects your mental health and can leave you feeling tired and overwhelmed. But when you practice patience, you stop trying to force things to happen. You learn to believe in life's timing, enjoy the present moment, and feel calm during the journey, not just when you reach your goal. This change in mindset helps you handle life with more ease, less stress, and greater happiness. Being patient also leads to better choices. When people act on impulse, they often end up making decisions they later regret. They might respond out of fear, anger, or stress, which usually leads to poor outcomes. But when you take time to think before reacting, you can look at the bigger picture, think about possible results, and make smarter choices based on logic instead of emotion. This ability to pause and reflect before doing something helps prevent avoidable mistakes and lets you move through life with more clarity and wisdom. Another key part of patience is learning to believe in the path you're on. Many people feel frustrated because they only care about reaching the goal, not the journey it takes to get there. They believe happiness will come only when they achieve something big or hit a certain target. But real peace comes from enjoying the path, not just the end result. When you develop patience, you begin to value where you are now while still aiming for where you want to be. You find happiness in the progress you're making, the lessons you're learning, and the small wins that lead to greater success. Patience is a skill, and like any skill, it can be improved with practice. One great way to get better at being patient is to practice mindfulness. When you're mindful, you train yourself to stay present rather than constantly thinking about what's next or stuck in past regrets. You learn to notice your thoughts without reacting right away, to slow your pace and to enjoy stillness. Being mindful helps you stay calm and patient in all parts of life. Self-discipline is another powerful way to build patience. Patience and discipline are closely linked. When you're disciplined, you don't give in to short-term urges or emotional reactions. You develop the inner strength to wait for results. Stay focused on long-term goals and stay steady even when progress is slow. This kind of self-control makes you more patient in all areas of life because you understand that valuable things take time. Patience is truly a form of power. It allows you to keep going without losing faith, to continue trying even when things are hard, and to stay steady even during uncertain times. It's a mindset that helps you deal with life more calmly, wisely, and peacefully. When you train your mind to be patient, you free yourself from stress that isn't needed. Your relationships improve, and you build a path to long-lasting success. You begin to trust the journey, live in the moment, and enjoy each part of the ride. The more patience you build, the more you see that true calm doesn't come from controlling everything around you. It comes from mastering your own mind. On the journey of learning how to stay calm no matter what, one of the most helpful skills you can build is learning to manage your emotions. Emotions are a natural part of being human. They give life meaning, help us connect to others, and influence the choices we make. But when emotions are not handled well, they can become overwhelming. This can lead to rash actions, needless arguments, and emotional stress. Managing emotions doesn't mean pretending you don't feel anything. It means noticing your feelings, trying to understand them, and choosing how to respond in a way that matches your values and long-term goals. It's about staying thoughtful and calm, even in the middle of a tough situation. A lot of people find emotional control hard because they react right away to how they feel. If something makes them angry, scared, or upset, they immediately act without thinking things through. These fast reactions often lead to regret, because decisions made in strong emotional states usually aren't the wisest. The secret to handling emotions well is learning to pause between what happens and how you respond. When you give yourself a moment to breathe and think, you create a space where you can choose a calm and wise response rather than reacting emotionally. Anger is one of the hardest emotions to manage. It's strong and can easily lead to trouble if not kept in check. Whether someone says something mean or things don't go as planned, it's easy to let anger take over. But acting in anger rarely fixes anything. It usually just makes things worse. Training your mind to stay calm in these situations means noticing your anger without letting it guide your actions. When you feel angry, stop and take a breath. Ask yourself if reacting with anger will actually help in the long run. Most of the time, a calm, well-thought-out response will lead to a much better outcome. Fear and anxiety are also tough emotions that many people struggle with. Fear can stop people from trying new things because they're scared of failing or being rejected. Anxiety traps the mind in endless worry, making it hard to focus or make good decisions. But fear is often just a picture in your mind, a worst-case scenario that might not even happen. When you learn to stay calm in scary situations, you see things more clearly. Instead of letting fear stop you, you begin to see it as a sign that you're growing and pushing past your limits. Managing emotions is especially important in relationships. Many arguments don't come from real problems, but from how people react emotionally. If someone criticizes or disagrees with you, it's easy to feel hurt and react without thinking. But emotional maturity means realizing that not every disagreement is personal. When you stay calm during tough conversations, you make space for understanding and better communication. You listen more openly, respond more kindly, and avoid unnecessary fights that come from emotional reactions instead of reason. Handling disappointment is another part of emotional control. Life doesn't always go the way we hope, and setbacks are part of the journey. Some people get stuck in disappointment, letting it weigh them down. They think too much about what went wrong and feel stuck. But being emotionally strong means accepting that disappointment happens and using it to grow. When you face setbacks calmly, you learn how to adapt, find new paths, and move forward without letting emotions hold you back. Mindfulness is a very helpful tool for building emotional control. It teaches you to notice your thoughts and feelings without judging them. You become more aware of your habits and how you respond to different situations. With this awareness, you learn to step back from strong emotions and choose more thoughtful actions. This brings more peace and balance into your life. Another good practice is self-reflection. When you take time to look at how you usually react emotionally, you start to understand your triggers. You can then create better ways to deal with them. This kind of self-awareness leads to emotional growth, stronger mental health, and healthier relationships. Ask yourself what kinds of situations usually bring out strong emotions in you. How do you normally respond, and how might you react differently? When you start becoming more aware of how you usually feel and respond emotionally, you begin to have more control over how you deal with tough situations. Thinking about your reactions also reminds you that emotions don't last forever. No matter how strong a feeling seems at the time, it will eventually fade. Learning how to manage your emotions takes time and regular effort, but the results are truly life-changing. When you can keep your emotions in check, you start to feel more confident and stable. You don't feel like emotions are running your life, pulling you in all kinds of directions, depending on how you feel in the moment. Instead, you become the one in charge of your thoughts and feelings. You can stay steady and calm, even when life is hard. This kind of mental strength helps you make smarter choices, form stronger and more respectful relationships, and face life with a clear mind and true purpose. One of the biggest lessons in learning emotional control is realizing that outside situations don't actually control how you feel. You do. A lot of people think they'll only feel happy once something good happens, like getting a job promotion, being in the perfect relationship, or earning more money. But real emotional strength comes from the inside. When you learn to stay peaceful and steady no matter what's happening around you, you break free from the constant ups and downs of life. You start to see that your inner peace doesn't rely on what's happening outside, but on how you choose to respond to those things. Being emotionally balanced is a lifelong skill that needs ongoing self-reflection and awareness. It's not about ignoring or pushing away how you feel, but about learning to handle your emotions in a way that helps you live with understanding, balance, and calmness. When you train your mind to stay peaceful in all kinds of situations, you reach a kind of emotional freedom that many people never find. You stop reacting without thinking. And you don't let short-term feelings take control of what you do. Instead, you go through life with a calm and steady mind, able to face problems with strength and grace. This not only makes your own life better, but also encourages others to build the same kind of emotional awareness. Being emotionally steady helps you grow into a better version of yourself. And the people around you can feel that too. It sets a quiet example that shows how powerful it is to live with emotional understanding and self-control.